You know, sometimes you might have it in more in the shoulders or maybe in the legs, you know, little things that are bothering you. So taking some time with our breathing to kind of make sure that we're being conscious and trying to get that part of the body to open up and relax a little bit. All right, inhale. And then exhale, and then starting to incorporate actually opening up the body, right? From the chest all the way to the ribs to the belly, so that we're allowing that breath to come all the way into the core. And still on those exhalations, allowing ourselves to relax. Ujjayi breathing, always an option. Creating that little whispery noise in the back of your throat. And then maybe even doing a count to yourself on the inhale. Try to match it on your exhale, just so your breathing feels nice and even. Settling in, again, if the legs are fully extended, that's fine. If you're on your side, maybe you're sitting up, maybe you prefer that. But when we start our movement, we're going to start from a bent knees position. So we'll do about 3 more breaths here. All right, and as you get onto your back, if you're not, and if you bend your knees, I want to have you lift up the hips and kind of think of moving the hips a little further from the shoulders. So we're lengthening the back, the heels are right in line with the sitting bones and toes are pointing straight ahead. Broaden the chest. So you want to feel like you pull those shoulders apart from each other. Lengthen your neck. And then bringing the arms right next to you, settling in there. Again, not pushing the arms into the mat, but just allowing them to be palms down, shoulders away from the ears, but relaxed. Still try to check back in with that breathing as often as you can. Just realize I have on black and there's a lot of black right here. Hope you can still see me. All right. One more full breath here. Next inhale, let the arms come into the movement. Inhaling, arms are going to reach up and overhead. And on the exhale, bringing them back down to the mat. Again, not rushing the breath now, right? And not rushing the movement. Your breath is number one, what you're thinking about, and then just allowing the arms to get into that natural rhythm with the breathing. The arms do not come all the way down till you're fully exhaled. And then right away we take that breath in and reaching overhead. And exhale, bringing those arms back down. So we'll do a couple more of those before we start bringing the lower body into it. All right. Continue that overhead reach as you inhale. Now as you exhale, we're going to pull that right knee in just for a little stretch here. And then place the foot down as you take the arms up. Inhale again. Next exhale, bringing that left knee in. And just continue that pattern. We're trying to keep the head and shoulders on the mat, so we're not lifting up. If you have to lift up to bring the knee in, then maybe you want to take it a little lower and just kind of grab behind the thigh. Again, try to keep everything relaxed except for what we're actually working on right now is, knees coming in, and that's starting to work up into the hamstrings. And as the hamstrings go up into the hips, into the glutes. All right, so we'll do a couple more. Again, you're just working at your own pace because all of our breathing is a little bit different. You never have to try to catch up to me. If you're working faster, slower, whatever, just work at your own pace. And then when you hear the cue for the next movement, then you can just move on to that whenever you're ready. And also take time throughout the practice, anytime, to rest, to modify. Maybe there's something else you want to work on for a little bit longer. You know, I try to hit a lot in our hourly class, but you know, you can't do everything every time. So if there's something that you really like as part of your practice, more time balancing or more time in warrior poses, feel free to do that. You can always catch up. We're going to all end up at the same place at the end of class on our backs anyway, right? All right, we got one more here. All right, let's go back to that right leg. Let's pull the knee in and we'll just stay here longer now. So not just for that exhale. I'm just going to gradually increase a little bit of pressure here, pulling that knee a little closer in and just feeling if that deepens the stretch in the back of my leg. All right, extending the foot up. Don't have to straighten the leg if you don't want to. Flexing and pointing that foot. Start to move it. Getting movement through not just the foot and the ankle, but make sure the toes are also getting a little bit of movement here. Trying to get them to point, making sure that doesn't cause any cramping. And then just circling that ankle when you're ready. And we're going to go both ways. And then just a little extension here, just seeing how it feels. Again, maybe bending the knee if that helps you to bring the leg in closer, or maybe you can just stay right here. It doesn't really matter. I just want you to feel what's the back of that leg feeling like now. Minimal, you know, mostly warmed up the lower part, right? Did a little bit here with those overhead stretches. You'll just see how that right hip is feeling. And then we're going to place the foot back down. We want to make sure that we get into that same bent knees pose again. Arms are right next to us. Take a breath or two here. All right, next inhale, bring the arms over the head. Exhale, bringing that left knee in. Now staying here a little bit longer. All right, extending that left foot up, flexing, and then pointing. Sorry. When my tights are on crooked, it bugs me. All right, flexing, pointing, circling, circling both ways. And again, just a little more extension if you are ready for that. All right, come back to bent knee. Once again, kind of get those hips in place. Now, take the arms alongside you. Let's get into that right leg again. We're going to do a couple of different things here. So we're going to bring the arms overhead as we inhale. On the exhale, we're going to pull that right knee in. And just start to move the right hip a little bit, right? So you can just move that leg out and in. You can circle it around if you're ready for that. I want you to judge how that hip feels for you and what kind of movements will start to loosen it up a little bit. All right, now pull that right knee back into the chest and let that left leg extend all the way to the mat. We're going to keep the left hand on the knee, open that right arm out. We're just going to do an easy little twist here. So take a breath in, and when you're ready, you're going to exhale and pull that right knee across with the left hand and keeping that right shoulder down. You can take your eyes wherever it helps you. If it is too much for your neck, to look opposite, you can just keep your eyes straight up. Now notice where you're feeling that, right? So not only the outside of the hip, but also I feel quite a lot of stretch up here across my chest going into the shoulder. Also into the middle of the back here as we get into that rotation. Now I'm going to turn my back to you in just a moment. If you need a strap to reach your foot, go ahead and have that handy. You can also use a small towel. We're going to roll completely onto our left shoulder and grab onto that right foot. I'll talk a little louder. I don't know if you really need it. Now, I lift my leg up to grab the foot, but then I want to pull those legs parallel. All right, I'm resting on my arm. You can prop up if you want, but it really changes the alignment of your body, so I like to stay here. I'm just going to pull that right foot to the right hip, to the glute. Again, using the strap if you need it. All right, and then just slowly coming onto the back again. Go ahead and extend that right leg back up and keeping the left leg out. So now just getting a little bit more stretch along the whole right leg, back of the right leg. And then we're going to start all over again. So bringing the feet onto the mat, lifting those hips up, again, coming into that bent knees pose. So we'll go onto the left side or left leg one more time. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, pulling that left knee into the chest again. Starting by working the hip a little bit, so letting that leg move and seeing how that affects that left hip. All right. And then we'll pull that left knee back in, slowly extend the right leg, see if you can get it all the way out on the mat. So now we'll be going onto our right side. So use the right hand, open that left arm. If you've got some room, keep the left shoulder down, take a breath in. On the exhale, pull that left knee across. And again, trying to keep that left shoulder down. And really, again, noticing all the different places we feel it, not just in the outside of the hip. And notice maybe if it's different from the other side. Are you tighter? Are you more flexible? All right, and then making our way completely onto our right side. So I'm going to bring my right arm around, make a little pillow here. I'm going to reach back and grab that left foot, and then my camera makes it look like this is all a big black blur, but hopefully you can see a little bit more. I'm pulling my knees closer together, and I'm pulling that left heel in toward my left hip. By putting something under the head, like your arm or even a rolled up towel, you notice how it kind of keeps the head and spine lined up, right? So we don't want our head to be down on the mat by that right shoulder. Just a little bit longer here. All right, slowly release that foot, roll onto your right side, or your back again. Bring both knees in and roll it back a little bit. Now, since we did a little stretch right there for the hip flexors, pay attention to how you feel today when you're in your warrior poses and your lunges, and just see if that made a difference. All right, from here you can roll onto one side and make your way up, or you can rock it on up. I'm going to quickly just check my camera and make sure it is recording. Never know. It looks like it's a little sideways, a little tilted. Maybe I can fix that. I don't know. All right, get on your hands and knees. I need to fix this because I don't want it to look tilted. Don't know. Okay, hands and knees, all fours, something under the knees if you need it. Pretty cold morning, isn't it? That hot tea really helps. Okay, make sure that you've got that weight distributed throughout the hands. Never locking the elbows, never letting the shoulders sink down, but rather pulling away from the floor. Knees under the hips. All right. Take a deep breath in and just feel the spine lengthening from crown of the head to the tailbone, right? So inhale, feel everything get a little bit longer. Exhale, just pull the belly in a little bit. Feel like you're pulling it inward, right? With that belly button. Inhale again. Lift a little bit through the chest and tailbone. Exhale, a little baby cat, as we call it, kitten stretch, right? Just a little one. Now, each time you inhale, I want you to work on lengthening more, getting more curve into your chest and into the tailbone, the hips. And then on the exhale, making that cat pose, taking it a little deeper, right? So just work at your own pace here. Making sure when you're arching in that cat pose, not only are you drawing that belly in really tight, but you're allowing the head to hang, so you're really getting a nice stretch along the back of the neck. Inhale again, and exhale, and inhale. Do a few more on your own. I'm not going to cue every one of them. All right, now come back to just a nice straight back here on all fours. Keep those hips directly over the knees and start to walk the hands forward, slowly coming into puppy pose, right? Half dog. We're going to bring the forehead to the mat if we can, and we can use a block here or towel if you need it. If both arms are not able to go forward because of shoulder limitations, feel free to take one arm forward, keep the other one closed in, and then you're going to switch. But just make sure you're not dropping the hips back like child's pose. We really want to keep them right over the knees at this point and work through the front of the body here. Feel that. You can feel this in front of the armpits, into the lats, into the arms. Again, do any modifications that make it work for you. If you're super flexible, you might even try to get the chin to the mat, which is going to deeply enhance that stretch in front of the shoulders. And if you had done one arm, make sure you do the other arm, and then you're going to walk yourself back in. Now stay out there if you need a little bit more time on that other arm, because I'm going to be talking anyway. All right, so we're getting back onto all fours after that. And it's more of a mobility exercise. I don't know if it's technically a yoga pose, but it's a really good one for the spine. So kind of wiggle your hips side to side a little bit, but we're going to make that a little bit more precise by starting out with a nice straight back. Take a deep breath in. Now as you exhale, I want you to push your hips to your right. At the same time, you're going to look over your right shoulder and try to see that right hip. Inhale as you come back to center. Exhale, kind of push your hips left, and at the same time looking over that left shoulder. So now we're letting the spine curve sideways. I like to call this one the happy dog, because we're wagging our tail to the right. And we're going to inhale back to center and wag it to the left. Exhale and inhale center. So we aren't going fast like a happy dog really would, but we are being pretty precise and trying to get as much of a curve on the right side as we can until we come back to the middle, and then we do the same on the left and back to the middle. So let's just do a couple more on our own. And then inhale back to the center. Now go ahead and exhale into that resting pose, into that child's pose. Again, any little modifications that make it work for you. Arms out, arms in, something on the forehead if you like. So we're not going to spend too much time. Let's see where we are. In our flow on the mat today, so of course take more time if you need it. Let's go ahead, and when we have had a little bit of a rest here, walk the hands forward again, and then come to downward dog, easy dog right now. So I'm not too far apart here. I've got to take my sweater off because it's starting to get in the way. All right, so pull the tailbone up and back. You want to feel like somebody is pulling up the sides of your body, kind of these little handles that we have right above the hips. You want to feel like somebody is getting in there and pulling you up and back. Allow your head to just hang. Really try to press away from the mat, getting those upper arms in the same angle with that torso. Pedal the feet if that helps you. Working each leg on its own a little bit. Two more times. All right, easy flow coming into our plank. As we inhale, modify the knees down if you like. Exhale, chaturanga. We're moving all the way to the mat. Hands stay right there. Slide forward and up. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, back to child's pose. When we're in child's pose a little bit longer, you can do whatever you like with the arms. If you're going to flow continuously, you want to keep those arms extended. Let's try it again. Inhale, come to that downward dog. Exhale, stretch it all up and back. Inhale, plank or modified plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child's pose. In that cobra, I'm going to do that one more time. I want you to really think on this next one of lifting that heart and feeling that lift coming from between the shoulder blades and not thinking of it coming in our lower back so much, right? Let's come to our downward dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Come into upward dog if you like. Maybe just lift the hips up. Exhale into child's pose, or you can go right into that downward dog. And then we're going to walk to the front of our mat. You can step it in, hop it in, whatever you like. Make your way into a forward bend. Now tighten up the belly, soften the knees, and just roll it up. And take some time getting into your mountain pose. All right? Decide if you want to have the big toes touching. You need a little bit more help with the balance. I like to have mine just a little bit closer than hip distance, right? I'm going to tuck this in because it keeps flopping around. Maybe I can tie it. I don't know. Okay, here we go. Now, roll those shoulders up and back. Get about a ½ inch taller just by lifting the crown of your head. All right, inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, forward bend. Ease into it if you want to roll down the first few times, or every time, that's fine. Use blocks if it helps you. And get your hands onto something. Let the head drop. Inhale, lift halfway. Lengthen that back. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, make your way back up to mountain pose, rolling up or extending the back. Hands to the heart. All right, we're gonna do that one more time, and then we're gonna add some overhead work. So take the arms up first, inhale, exhale, hand to the heart, or open and dive forward, forward bend. Inhale, lifting halfway. Same thing, use those props if they help you. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, back up. Exhale, mountain pose. Now bring your arms alongside you. I'm going to face you for just a moment. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, keep the arms up. Shoulders pressed down. Inhale, reach that right arm up. Exhale, even it back out. Inhale, reach that left arm up a little bit more. Exhale, even it out. We'll do that one more time. So inhale, reach up right. Exhale, even it out. Inhale, reach up left. And even it out. Now this time we're going to go further. So inhale, reach up right. Bring this left hand either over to the hip for support. You can gently circle that right wrist and bring the arm up and over, or you can even bring the palms together. But we're not pushing the hips out to the right. We're trying to stretch the upper body over to your left side. Inhale, back up. Exhale, bring the arms back down. And then again, reach up. Inhale, go to the right side. So again, whatever variation you want to use here, put the hand here for support, but really feel from that left hand going down the left side of the body and really pushing that left foot into the mat to get that stretch throughout the whole left side of our body. And inhale, reach it back up, and exhale back to mountain pose. All right. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, lift halfway. Now use your blocks, get that back nice and straight. All right, you're gonna take, you're gonna let the right knee bend a little bit and just take your left hand to your left hip and just do a little rotation to the left here. So right knee bend, turning the chest to the left side, and then inhale, come back, straighten out that back again. This time let the left knee bend, right hand to the right hip. Inhale first, and then as you exhale, we're just gonna turn that upper body to the right side of our mat. Nice and easy, don't overdo it. Inhale back to the front. Exhale, forward bend. All right, put the hands to the mat. Slowly make your way back to your downward dog. Now we're going to transition in and out of downward dog. If it gets to be more than you want to do, come onto all fours or any other variation where you can bring each foot forward and work on those poses. We'll do each side a couple times. I'm not going to turn around for the first few just because it takes a lot of time to go back and forth to each end of the mat. So again, starting with your downward dog. Now I'm going to look forward where I think I want to put my foot. I'm going to try to bring it through. You can even use your hands to bring that foot all the way through. Bring the left knee down. Find your way to a kneeling lunge. Have your props handy if you need them. Lifting the heart, taking the gaze a little higher than eye level. Take the arms up. Again, if that's too much, keep the hands down where you can be more balanced. Use your core though. Pull internally, tighten up that belt. All right, bring the hands back down. Step back to downward dog or hands and knees. Looking forward again, bringing my left foot through, coming onto a kneeling lunge. My right knee is now down. Same thing. So start to push the hips forward so we allow that hip flexor to stretch. Taking the arms up or any other variation that helps you. So we do want to challenge ourselves, right? If you can hold it pretty well, take the arms up. Don't always give yourself the easy way out, but you know when your balance isn't feeling good or if you're in a particularly difficult position, let yourself at least feel confident while you're there that you can remain there for a breath or two. All right, bringing the hands back down, stepping back to downward facing dog. Again, take that break in child's pose if you need it. All right, this time take that right foot, bring it all the way through. Bring the back foot in a little bit, coming up to a high lunge now. So now I have to balance on that back foot, and that's going to determine how far back I take my foot. The further back, the lower you go, more challenging it is, right? Arms up. Really lifting up and out of the hips, and really lifting through the heart, right? Through the upper back, lifting that sternum up. Now take a deep breath in. Exhale, let's twist to the right again. So we did this earlier, right? Go ahead and reach that left arm forward, right arm behind you. Keep an eye on this knee. We don't want to let the knee move inward. Inhale, back up to the front. Exhale, open to warrior two. So just bring that right foot a little more to the center of your mat and get that back foot lined up with it, right? The arch. Toes a little more forward than the heel. Arms at shoulder height. Relax your shoulders. Look over that right hand. Side angle pose. Use the leg or some blocks here to take that left arm up, or extended variation over that left ear. Inhale back up, warrior two. Turn the palm up, reverse warrior. Bring that right arm up and back. Back to warrior two. We're going to do that one more time, the same sequence. Side angle pose. Inhale, warrior two. Float that hand up, reverse warrior one last time. Back to warrior two. From here, we're going to make our way to the mat. So slowly turn, drop your hands, step back to downward facing dog. All right, stepping that left foot through, bringing that right knee up off the mat, coming into our crescent moon lunge on the left. Find your balance, lifting up, opening the heart, shoulders down. Take a breath in, exhale, turn to your left. So now you're going to reach the right arm forward, left arm back. Upper body twist here. Inhale back to the front. Exhale, open to warrior two. I need to flip around real quick. Warrior two on the left. So that front heel kind of lining up with the back arch. Shoulders and hips facing the side of your mat. Side angle pose. Any variation. Back to warrior two. Reverse warrior. Left arm up. We're going to do that again. Back to warrior two first. Side angle pose again. Back to warrior two. And into reverse warrior one more time. All right, come back to warrior two, and then from here we're going to slowly turn, drop the hands, and make our way back to downward dog, however you want to get there. All right, let's see, where are we? Go ahead and bring the knees down, take a little rest in child's pose. I wanted to do one last thing here. Before we go back to the front of our mat. All right, so come up onto hands and knees rather than downward dog. Bring your right foot through, but what I'm going to have you do is walk your right foot all the way to the right edge of your mat. So rather than being normally where it would be in line with that hip, we're going to take it further than the hip. And then what I'm going to have you do is put a block here, or you can use the hand. But I want you to try to let your upper body come lower and let this right knee kind of open out to the right. Does that make sense? To really work into that inner thigh. So by putting that body weight forward, I'm going to grab another block here. I'm going to make myself a little stand here, and I'm just going to kind of put my body weight forward on it and let that right knee kind of move out toward the right. We're just going to hang here a little bit. Now slowly make your way back up. If you've got blocks, bring them back alongside the back knee. Bring that right foot back more to where it would normally be, in line with the right hip, and lift the toes up. So I've got my weight, my hips over my back knee, my right leg extended. I'm going to lift my heart, and I'm going to slowly let that upper body go forward. Again, you don't have to use blocks here. You can use the hands if you like, but just trying to let the body weight move forward, so I'm getting a deeper stretch behind my right leg. All right, very slowly, go ahead and bring that right leg back under you. Come on to hands and knees and go through cat and cow a couple times. All right, now take that left foot forward, same thing, kind of like the kneeling lunge, but then I'm going to walk my foot over to the edge of my mat, and I'm going to start to bring something, I'm going to bring something here so I can start to bring my upper body more forward and shift my body weight down and let this left knee start moving out to the left a little bit. Again, if you don't need the blocks, that's fine. You can get all the way down to that mat. Use whatever helps you, right? But I'm allowing this left knee to kind of open out to the side a little bit. You're going to really feel this up in the groin. All right, as you ease out of that, you first of all want to bring that foot back into alignment. So it's almost like you're in your regular lunge. And then you're going to shift your weight over that back knee, lift that left foot up, lift the heart first, and then allow that upper body to start moving toward that leg. All right, slowly come out of that. Bring that left foot back. We're going to do a little easy camel pose. We're not going to go into it real deep. I just want you to go ahead and bring your fists to the right below the lower back, so the back of the pelvis, and just push the hips forward and lift your heart. Think of pulling the elbows toward each other. All right, slowly come out of that. Bring the hands back to the mat. Come back into downward dog. And then you're just going to walk those feet forward. Come to a forward bend at the front of your mat again. And just relax. And then roll it up. Okay. Woo. Where does the time go? Let's go ahead and make our way back down to the mat. We're not going to balance today. So, starting in mountain pose. If you can, for a moment, just close your eyes or take your gaze down and try to reconnect with your breath. Slow it down, even it out. All right, next inhale, bringing the arms up. Exhale into forward bend. Inhale, lift halfway. Again, really think of that extension. You're not lifting up the back only. You're extending that spine as you come up. See if you can extend those arms back. Keep the neck nice and long. You normally would want to just keep your eyes down. Inhale, get a little longer. Exhale, forward bend. Plant the hands. Step back to plank one more time. Inhale here. And exhale, allow yourself to come all the way down. All right, we're going to try bow pose today. There's lots of variations of it. You can do it one-legged, you can do both legs, you can do keeping the forehead down if that's something you're really working on, using a strap, supporting with a hand under the forehead. So I'll just show you a couple of options. We know regular bow pose is going to be hands and feet, trying to lift the legs and the upper body off the mat. But if you want to work it on just little parts of it, cushion your forehead with your left arm and reach back with the right hand. Grab that right foot, make that bind, pull the hip or the heel to the hip. You can also work on lifting the upper body up here as well. Same would be for the reverse. If you're really having trouble just getting the feet together, maybe you want to just try to keep the forehead down and try to make that connection. But if you're going to go for the full thing, the full Monty, bring the hands and feet together. Try to bring the legs parallel. Don't lift with those legs V'd out, right? We want to have them, the knees pointing to the end of the mat. Now, when you lift up, you're going to try to pull the shoulder blades together. So we're going to take a breath in. We're going to exhale here. We're going to inhale again, lift the legs, lift the forehead. Stay there, exhale. You can continue to take that a little further up, staying however long you like. When you want to lower, inhale while you're up, exhale, lower down, release the legs and the arms, wherever it's comfortable. We're going to do one more attempt. If you were doing one leg at a time, this would be a good time to switch over and do that other leg. Again, try to get everything lined up before you lift up off the mat. When you have done it twice or both sides, you're going to windshield wiper. It's a very technical term, isn't it? Windshield wiper your legs side to side. Feel that kind of rolling across the quads rather than up and down. And then extend the legs all the way out. Bring the hands just a little further back. Take a breath in. And on the exhale, push yourself up and back and come into that resting pose again. Bring the arms in, take a little break. Whenever you're ready, you can slowly turn over. We're going to go all the way down to our backs. So kind of just using minimal effort and energy here to turn all the way over. All right. Let's start out when we get here. Just bring the knees in and give that little back some time. Let it, that lower back a little time. Roll a little bit and move gently. All right, we're going to bring both feet up and let's just flex and point a few times. Important to keep everything moving, everything warm. All right, and then we're going to come back down to our bent knees pose. Make sure everything's comfortable here. Arms alongside you. We're going to revisit the twist that we did earlier and then add a little bit more to it. So when you're ready, take the arms up, inhale. On the exhale, pull that right knee in. Extend the left leg down. Whenever you're ready, you're going to open that right arm out. Inhale first. Use the exhale to twist and bring that left knee up and across. And then roll over on your left shoulder again, or your left side. Come into that quad stretch again. Pull the right foot to the hip. Now, release the foot. Bring the right knee to the ground if you can. If not, it might hover above. From here, bring your hands together in front of your chest. Nice long arms. And then inhale. Exhale, open that right arm all the way and see if you can get your back, the back of your hand and your shoulder all the way to the mat. And then roll onto your back. Take the right foot to the left knee. Thread the needle, option to stay here. Bring the foot up. Use your strap. Whatever you want to do to get a nice stretch in that right hip. All right, uncrossing the legs, hugging those knees in again. Roll the back a little bit. All right, let's try the other side. Left knee in, and we extend that right leg all the way down. Using just the right hand, open that left arm, take the breath in. Exhale, twist that left knee up and across. Try to keep your left shoulder down. Now roll onto that right side. Go ahead and grab that left foot again. Let's pull the knees close to each other. Now I have my bottom leg bent a lot just so I can stay more on that right side without rolling forward or back. All right, keep pulling that heel up toward the hip. All right, so now I'm going to let go of that foot. I'm going to try to bring the left knee onto the floor in front of me. Bring the hands together in front of your chest. Take a breath in. On the exhale, open that left arm. Try to get that left shoulder back to the mat while we keep that left knee. It may come off the ground, that's okay. Still getting a good twist here. And then slowly roll onto your back. Left foot to the right, or left ankle to the right knee. Thread the needle on this side. I can finally do this again. So happy. All right, uncrossing the legs. Let's come into happy baby. So roll the back a little bit. Take the knees apart. You want to take either the first two fingers to the big toes, take the hand to the outside of the feet, or you can even take the hands behind the knees, depending on how how well this pose works for you. Babies do it so easily, don't they? So ideally, we're just trying to move the legs out and apart and keep it somewhat relaxed. It shouldn't be a lot of strain here. You should feel not only your back already was the length of the lower back, right? You could feel it, but now you should feel like the whole lower back kind of widens and presses into the mat a little bit more. I like to extend my legs and then bend. Some people like to really get into the movement and roll around with it. If you've got room to do that, feel free. Play around with it, just the way a baby would. And just see what feels good. Again, same thing, taking the hands behind the knees. If you have the hands behind the knees, though, try to still keep the feet higher up, right? Higher than the knees. And then wherever you are, we're going to slowly bring those legs together. Bend the knees. Bring the feet to the mat. And slowly stretch the legs all the way out. Wiggle the feet a little bit. And then take the arms overhead and inhale. And try to stretch the fingertips one direction, toes the other way as the breath comes in. And on the exhale, we're just letting it all relax. You're going to stay here a breath or two with the arms overhead. And then we'll do it again. Inhale, stretch and hold. And exhale and relax. And we've got one more to go. Here we go, full body stretch, inhale. On the exhale now, we're going to bring those arms lower than the shoulders. Not too close to the body. Let the legs just drop open and move them out however far you like. At this point, you can get into, legs up the wall, laying on your side, maybe grabbing your blanket or something if you want to get into a really comfortable savasana, maybe rest a little bit longer, stay warm. So returning to really just trying to think about the breath now, right? I mean, our bodies are here. We are going to scan through the body. We want to make sure that we are not still holding on to any tension. But in general, primary focus here, the breathing, being comfortable, giving our bodies a little time to sort of take it all in, all of those different movements that we were working on, allowing every part of the body to rest. And really even just keeping the mind clear. Just focus on yourself, your body, for another minute or two. All right, if you'd like to stay resting, please do. If you're ready to make your way back up, you want to start very slowly. Little movements with the fingers and toes. Make fists, curl the toes, stretch them out. Just get that blood moving, especially on a colder day like we're having today. It's so cold here in Southern California. Make the movements a little bigger when you're ready, hands and feet. Roll to one side. And when you come up, when you're bringing yourself up, use your hands. Again, we want to try to minimize what energy we're using at this point. I'm kind of out of camera range, but that's okay. Namaste, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy class. Let me turn this off.